What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box, we have a special treat. The Ferrari F12 TDF from StanceHunters. Now, this one released about a year ago, so tracking it down might be a little tough nowadays. It's also perhaps not the most officially licensed vehicle ever, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at it and see if it is worth adding to your collections. So as always, let's get started by looking at our casting. So taking a glance just at our proportions and everything, we can see that we are quite nice. We do, in fact, look like a Ferrari F12 TDF, which is nice to see. We will go ahead and pop the real-life car up in the top right corner for you to compare. So as you can see, it looks pretty good. Nothing to complain about. So let's take a look at what is metal and what is plastic on this one. So what we can see right out of the gate here is that almost everything you're going to see here is metal. However, including the base, sorry. However, the mirrors are plastic, no surprise there. And then there's actually this section here leading up to the carbon fiber strip. This is all going to be plastic as well. It's a nice little detail though, and it does not feel fragile on there. As far as what is casted in, all the body lines that you would expect are casted in. These like additional vents are even like indented in, which looks really good. Up front, very, very nice level of detail as far as these little extra intakes, all the little swoops, these little extra things here. You can look at that. You can see I'm getting the toothpick completely behind there. Really, really nice detailing up front. As you come down to the sides here, again, these things being plastic creates a nice little separation right there, which, I mean, makes it look as though it is completely functional. It is really, really good. You can see how it kind of has almost like an intake right there to make it look like it's as functional as it would have been in the real-life car. Making your way down the sides, we even have the little pin for the door handle, the actual handle itself. And then you've got these, which are casted in. The gas cap, which is its own additional little piece there, looking really good. And then as you make your way into the back, there's various different inserts leading into this diffuser right here, which is a piece of the base, which is also metal. So overall, our casting is just very, very well done. And there's even an opening part. As you can see here, when the hood is open, it is a little bit tough to get it open, but once you are there, it is well worth it. As you can kind of see, there is just an absolute wealth of detail in there. It is fantastic. There is carbon fiber galore in there, just looking phenomenal. And definitely worth the opening part, even though it does create a little bit of a seam up front. It usually does sit pretty flawless. Moving into our paint and deco, there were 3 options when this one first dropped, and up to this point, these are still the only 3 options. So obviously you have a very nice Ferrari red and a very nice Ferrari yellow, kind of the stereotypical go-to Ferrari colors. There was also a white one that you could have gotten. I passed on that. However, all 3 colors, in my opinion, looked absolutely fantastic, and I can tell you that the 2 that I have are absolutely fantastic. The only really things that we should mention, other than the actual paint color, is that these little striping detail things on the side here, these are done in carbon. As you saw in the engine, there is fully a carbon engine as well. And then this striping back here is also carbon, if I can get that to focus at all. Moving into the details. So I am not going to count the engine details that I've kind of already shown you, but we can see that we do have a plastic insert for our headlights, which looks really, really good. The entire grill section here is actually see-through, so it is legitimately real meshing. It's really cool. There are little extra intake ports right there. You get a Ferrari badge right there in the center and a Ferrari logo right here, which looks amazing. Coming down to the side here, we do get accurate wheels. They do have little Ferrari logos inside there as well, which looks really good. We get a Ferrari badge here, a little reflector right there. And then again, this carbon fiber detailing as we talked about. There are rotors behind the wheels, which look really, really cool. Making your way down the sides even farther, we talked about this piece. The gas cap, again, an entirely separate piece, like a plastic insert, which looks really good. The mirrors even do have little mirroring stickers in them, which looks really cool. Onto the back window, we can see that there are details on that back window, which is amazing to see. We do get a Ferrari badge right there on the trunk lid. And then making your way all the way to the back, we do have plastic inserts for the taillight. This entire strip here, looking carbon fiber detailed, it has a little Ferrari badge. We have Ferrari F12 TDF license plate area. We even have exhaust inserts. So this entire plastic thing is an insert with painted exhaust tips, as well as the little like reflector things painted as well. And then coming to the base, there is even this like extra third brake light here detailed on, which just overall amazing. And again, there is a plethora of details on the interior by the engine as well. Moving into our roll test. Now, this is a new brand for my collection and probably for most of you as well. And as you can see, the back wheels roll just fine. The front wheels not so much, but they can spin. It's just that they are extremely tight. As you can see, there they go. And then the back wheel's actually pretty good. They spin pretty easily. And I can say it is pretty much the same case with the red one. The front ones are a little bit tight. The back ones spin a whole lot nicer. I went ahead and put these ones on the scale, and they came out to be 45.98 grams. So they have some serious heft to them. They are heavier than the average Hot Wheels Premium. Pros and cons, getting started with our pros. The first big pro is that just extreme level of detail that I showed you earlier. And again, here we'll get a better look at the interior of the engine, kind of. Just really, really good level of details here. You'll have to pause the video to really get a good idea of that, but it is just phenomenal inside there. The other big pro is that this is the first F12 TDF that has been done in true 1/64th scale. Like I said, this has been out for about a year now. They released in fall of 2023. Now, I think Barago did do an F12 TDF. However, part of the Race and Play line, which I'm pretty sure was oversized and not really particularly close to a 1/64th scale. Moving into our cons, though, there are a couple, and the first one being the $25 to $30 price tag when this first released. I imagine now, a whole year later, that the price is probably even worse. But that initial price tag was already scary enough that I think a lot of people would have passed because they don't want to spend that much on such a small car. That being said, though, I do think the level of details is worthy of that price point for me personally. That kind of rolls us into our second con, though, in that this is non-licensed. And for a lot of collectors, I think that is going to be a deal breaker. They are not going to purchase it without the official licensing from Ferrari. And I don't blame them one bit for that. For me personally, Ferrari, the way they kind of are with their licensing, they want to be exclusive and they want to play games. And so for that reason, I don't really mind if third-party companies kind of want to do unlicensed model Ferraris, if that means that we get good 1/64th scale Ferraris. Moving into some size comparisons, here we have it with some other front-engined Ferraris that you might have, with the Ferrari Roma from Tomica and the Ferrari 599 GTB from Hot Wheels. And here we have it with some other offerings from other premium brands of other Italian exotics, with the Tarmac Works Pagani Huayra BC and the Mini GT Lamborghini Cyan. So with all of that out of the way, it is now time to give it some overall scores here. So the hype level is going to get a 9.2 out of 10. I know that a lot of us in the kind of more premium collector space, we were very excited for this one, but I think the average kind of Joe Schmo collector probably was not super hyped for this one or didn't even know that it was coming. The execution, I'm going to give it a 9.7 out of 10. The biggest things I should say is that the price point being a little the non-license factor takes it down a little bit, and then I have seen a few where the hood does not line up perfectly nicely. It lines up perfectly on my yellow one. My red one here is ever so slightly raised, not enough to really be noticeable, but definitely enough that it is there. Community input. Here's what the Council of Diecast had to say, and again, a little bit harsh on this. I think the price factored into a lot of their decision making. And so when we take these scores and we round them all together, this is going to end up with an average of a 9.2 overall score, which I feel like is pretty fair. Because this thing is absolutely fantastic. It is easily the best 1/64th Ferrari to be done so far. At least up to this point in 2023. Let's pretend we're a year ago now. It's a real shame that it does not have the official Ferrari licensing, and I really think Ferrari should look into giving StanceHunters some sort of licensing or something, because these are fantastic. But it is completely understandable that they don't have the license, given Ferrari's nature and the way they go about with their licenses. I would say if you don't have this one, you should absolutely try your best to get it into your collection as soon as possible. If you can find it for a good price. I probably wouldn't be spending more than $35 on this one, to be honest with you. So if you can't find it for a good price, there is the Centuria model coming out. It's actually already out in Europe. We should be getting it here in the US and Asian countries and stuff like that later on, maybe early 2025. Wait for that one. It won't have an opening part, but it'll be at least a way to get this car into your collection. And with that, guys, that is all I have for this review. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you in the next video.